Hello, welcome to You Know Something with Dena.
And DiAnna.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, girl.
I got a little pollen in my throat, and that's why I said hello.
Oh, you must live in East Tennessee.
Yes, isn't it wonderful? Most of the
Yeah.
time it is. We want to welcome you guys. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time listening, we have 2 episodes a week, and our midweek episode is called You Know Something, and we talk about different topics, learn about things, live, laugh, learn, love. Is that what the sign says?
hmm Live,
And then
laugh, love, I think.
live, laugh, learn. I added learn. And then on Sundays, we have our Giggles and Gratitude episode, and that's where we talk about our faith and the role it plays in our lives. We learn together about faith because there's always something new to learn. And if you're not a believer, we hope we can still keep you entertained and maybe inspire you ask questions and maybe learn a little bit more about your spiritual life if you're interested in doing that. Does that sum it up, you think?
Oh, you did great.
Thank you. All right, today, this is a new year. This is season 4, and we said we were going to make some changes. And this is one of the changes. I'm springing this on Diana too, but it's really not that big a deal. But I'm working on a new song for our opening. I haven't quite gotten it the way I want it, so we're still using a little bit of the old one. And then on our midweek episode, instead of choosing a topic and speaking about it the entire episode, I thought we might try doing what I'm going to call 3 in 30. Our episode is generally about 30 minutes long, and I thought we could cover 3 stories in
hmm
30 minutes
Okay.
to keep the variety up and the interest up. And anytime, Diana, you have an idea for one of those 3 in 30, just sing it out. Let me know. So you only choose 2, Dana, because I got one I want to talk about. So you're
All
always
right.
welcome. All right. So the first one, Diana, are you aware that we are going back to the moon?
Yes, I saw that yesterday, I believe it was. Yes, yesterday. It was
Pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. Go USA.
Okay. Well, you kind of give me a hint about how you feel about it. But I'm
Did I?
asking just a little bit. So the facts are NASA's Artemis 2 mission, as of this recording, has launched, sending 4 astronauts on a historic 10-day crewed loop around the moon,
Mhm.
marking the first human trip to the moon. And do you know how long, Diana?
50 years.
Yes, very good. You've been
Go,
studying.
DiAnna.
You get a little star. This mission tests the Orion capsule and the SLS rocket, paving the way for landing astronauts on the lunar South Pole by 2028. So the mission is to fly a test to prepare for a long-term habitation on the moon and
Right,
future missions to Mars. It's not a landing mission this time.
right.
The crew includes Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen. So we do have one lady person on there, so that's good.
Good.
So after launching Kennedy Space Center, the crew will travel nearly 250,000 miles from Earth.
That's
And
a long weekend trip.
it would take several hours, wouldn't it? You were driving. And they're going to be flying further than any, do you say further or farther?
Oh my goodness. I kind of think I use both.
I think I do too. This says farther here, so flying farther. Further must be a, like you say, East Tennessee. I think that's East Tennessee word.
Slang.
We're going further than ever. We're going pert near up to the Johnson's barn. So the future plans scheduled for 2027, 2028 will actually be landing the astronauts on the moon. Now, isn't it weird? And I'm going to bring up conspiracy theories here that we did that 50 years ago and then we just never did it again.
Yeah, I do find that odd.
Yeah.
You've definitely got to have the people in place in order to support that type of mission. It's very dangerous. I'm sure very expensive to have a rocket.
Mm.
And of course, we did have that very tragic event. where all
Oh,
those astronauts, yes, passed away.
yes, the Challenger.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that we're back on it. I think that it's a lot to explore. I'm going to ask you a question now since you
Uh-oh.
ask me all the time. Do you know also what they're going to the moon for? And I'm assuming, to my knowledge, this is the 27-28 crew. Do you know what their plan is?
Well, it sounds to me, I'm going to go back and look, but what I read, it sounds to me like they're going to inhabit it for quite some time.
And that's right, to see if it is
Ugh, inhabitable.
inhabitable. That's the word I was looking for. Inhabitable.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I think it was the first season of the podcast. T and I did cover the moon as a whole topic for an hour, much to Tia's annoyance. She wasn't interested in the moon. But if I recall, we didn't do it again because the very things you said, it's very expensive, it's very dangerous. And once you proved you could get there, there needed to be another reason
Mhm.
to do it again. That was such a milestone.
Right.
We're kind of in competition with Russia, in the space program back at that time.
Sure.
And some people believe that never happened. What do you say to those people? What do you think about that? That it was fake?
Yeah, I don't think that it's fake. I think it was real.
Yeah, people
I mean,
say,
we didn't have the technology back then either to be able to produce, in my opinion, some of the videos and pictures that I've saw. Uh, Again, today in AI, you can make anything look authentic, but we're talking 50 years ago.
yeah, but did we have the technology to send the sharp picture and sound that we got from back then?
Well, right?
That's what people say. Now, it could be we had that technology, but I have heard that the scientists feel like we as a human race are kind of simple and we can't handle the truth. As the movie says, you can't handle the truth. We can't handle the technology as quickly as it's produced. So they gently give us a little bit as years pass. They give us a little bit of, oh, this is a giant computer in a building. What do you think about that? Oh, here's a computer you can have at your house, but it's really big. All right, here's something you can hold in your lap. Now look at this. You can hold it in your hand, a computer, and actually call people on it. But actually, all that technology was available all at once, but they didn't think we could handle it. So that could be that they were able to get that picture, that video from the moon, but not let us have it as a general population until they thought we could handle it. I don't know. It's just a theory.
Well, can I throw in just something totally off the wall?
Sure.
I want to ask you, you brought up that you can't handle the truth. Do you know what movie that was from and who said that?
That was Jack Nicholson
Good girl.
in A Few Good Men,
Dang, you got it.
a Tom Cruise movie. Phew, I can't believe I got that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
that was a
God.
good movie. Back when they made really good movies.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, Diana, why go back? Uh, Sustainability. Unlike the Apollo missions, the goal is to build a sustainable human presence and a moon base at the South Pole. Now, we don't know what they're up to. We don't know what'll come from that. They're probably not going to tell us because they think we can't handle the truth as to what. Maybe they're going to send prisoners there. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot that came from the other missions, technology, things that I should know off the top of my head that I don't. Like they always say, like this fabric was invented, like space age fabric and Tang, certain foods and all this that they're doing something. They're taking things with them and experimenting and studying. So I'm just going to leave it to them as to why they're doing it myself.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy on planet Earth. I think I'll just stay here.
Yeah, I am not one of those people that wants to live on Mars. That's for sure.
No.
Another reason they're going is the crew will study the moon's far side. So I guess we've never been to the other side of the moon.
Well, maybe that's a reason to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jamaica. When you go to one island and then you go back, you want to go to a different
There
one.
you go. Now, if the moon's like Jamaica, I might want to go there. So it's for international and commercial support too. The program includes 61 countries and dozens of private companies
Mhm.
that are supporting it,
Funding.
and they're doing things for them. Who knows what it's going to be?
They're going to do what they're going to do, so I'm going to live my life and let them live theirs.
Yeah. And people are complaining. I've been reading comments. People are complaining about the amount of money that it takes. We can't have free healthcare, but we can go to the moon. So you're always going to have your naysayers, but to me, the American spirit is explore what's next. We haven't done
Right?
this yet, and that's expensive.
Yeah, it is. No doubt.
As of right now, as we're recording, they're in the air and they launched safely. I think they had a few little technical issues, but nothing life-threatening. And the kids that were watching with their mouths hanging open and people were crying, tears were running down their face. Just there's
Hmm.
something about it that moves most people, I think.
Yes. Amen. I agree.
Okay, so we're for it. We're for it.
Yes, I am. I just don't want to live there.
Right, me either. Me either. I think we'll be gone by the time people are living on the moon.
We hope.
All right, the second story I find rather sad and a shame. It's a shame, but you've probably heard about this too. And you being a medical professional, I'm sure you'll have an opinion on it. Something's making a comeback. It's cool again. Do you know what it is?
The 80s clothing?
Oh, I wish.
Actually, no, I think it's coming back. I've heard a couple of things that it's coming back, so I'm excited.
Okay, all but the mom jeans. Not a fan of the mom. The hammer pants. No, Diana, it's smoking. Smoking is coming back.
Oh, just
We
like
use
regular cigarettes?
regular cigarettes. Have you ever
Okay.
been a smoker? Are you a smoker? I honestly don't know.
No, my parents actually both worked at Reynolds Tobacco Company in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yeah, my mom was my dad's secretary, so that's how they met. And
Ooh.
dad worked for Reynolds for years, but no, I actually helped my mom quit smoking because she said I was about 5 years old and I would hang my head out the window because I told her I didn't want to breathe her smoke.
Aw. I have found people whose parents smoke. The child did not smoke because when you're not smoking and you're in a room with it, it's really gross. You're
Yeah.
like, so as a child, you couldn't smoke. So you think, oh, I'll never do that. I never did either. I tried in like middle school. I carried a pack of cigarettes around in my little handbag like everybody else did, a little cute little lighter, but I never smoked.
That's so funny. I tell you what, I have to admit, I did one of my mom's cigarettes one time. I tried a little puff off of it when she was in the other room. I thought I was going to need to call 911. I was choking and gagging and coughing. Yeah. Mm-mm. She came out and knew exactly what I had done, and then I was really in trouble.
You're like, what? And a big puff of
I,
smoke comes out of your mouth.
yeah, yeah. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, everybody says that you have to really learn to smoke because it hurts, it burns when you start. And I think, do you? Do you have to?
Right?
But for those of you who do smoke, if I ever was a smoker, I don't think I could have quit. It's very hard for me to get out of habits. But sadly, smoking is experiencing a mild, trendy comeback among young adults and in popular culture, particularly with Gen Z and in movies and social media. While overall US smoking rates remain low, lower than it used to be, like in the 50s and
Right.
60s, 70s, there
Right.
are now what they call SIG-fluencers, which are influencers on social media posing with cigarettes, smoking in videos. And I would assume they're getting payback from cigarette companies, tobacco companies. I'm even,
Maybe.
I'm surprised they would even allow that on Instagram and Facebook to show smoking. But, for a while there, you didn't see it they still can't do commercials on television for it. They stopped
Why
that.
is that? Just the Surgeon General's
Yeah, I mean, it
warning?
used to be you saw ads all the time, and then I can't remember. I remember when it happened. It was probably in the 70s. I'd have to look it up. I'm sorry. Where they banned commercial tobacco. Once they realized it's not good for you, like they thought it was in the 50s, they thought it was good for your throat.
Yeah.
Soothing. So the reasons it's making a comeback, as opposed to vaping, let's say that, because we know this generation vapes all over the place. And a lot of people our age switched over to vaping too, thinking it was safer, but I don't think it is.
Right.
So the reasons for making a comeback, pop culture influence. Cigarettes are appearing more frequently in movies, TV shows, and music videos. Sabrina Carpenter, who's a very popular singer right now with the young ones, she's smoking in a current video. It's shifting from a villain, shameful habit to a fashionable accessory.
Yeah. And all things come in their time, meaning that was popular back in the, like you said, back in the day, and then it was not popular. And then all things just kind of come back around, kind of like the 80s clothes, which I hope
Yeah.
does. So
And
I
then
feel like
vaping
it's a
was,
trend.
yeah, but isn't it a shame that something like that's detrimental to your health is once I even feel like kids of a certain age, like maybe my great niece and nephew, never see smoking,
Right?
and would never think about it. And now it's become a trend, which is sad.
More of the norm, more of the accepted. Kind of like you carrying your lighter and your cigarettes, and then you never smoked. You just
Yeah,
wanted to look cool.
yeah. But then when the vaping came out with all the flavors you could get, and it was more like a candy or a drink, or where you can get, oh, I'm going to get cherry or whatever. And I think they've discovered now that that's bad for your lungs too, which I mean, you as a nurse, what do you think? Were you working enough during the vape? I guess vape effects hasn't really been proven yet. Or hasn't have
Yeah, not enough. I don't feel like there's probably enough statistics to support it, but smoke is kind of smoke to your lungs. I don't, it depends on, of course, the percentage of nicotine in there as far as the addictive quantities that make you want to go buy that next one. But
right.
no, I mean, I do feel like actual cigarette smoking is more harsh, has a whole lot more detrimental effects long term. But again, the studies are not back on the vaping yet.
Yeah. I mean, cigarette smoking, if you think about it, has always looked cool, like James Dean and Marlon
Right?
Brando and the black and white
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
some kids, the younger demographics, they're moving from vaping to cigarettes because it's not the norm anymore. They're like being a little rebellious and
And weren't we all
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
for
true.
a little while?
And the pandemic and social factors is another reason. The pandemic increased isolation and the rise of outdoor dining life came back. People were stressed and
Right?
no one could see them. They were home. They had to eat outside if they went to a restaurant. So the smoking thing made a comeback.
Yeah.
The
I
role of,
try to step away, and where people are, especially outside of a restaurant. I really hate when people congregate right outside of a restaurant after you've had your meal and then you go out and all you smell is just a puff of smoke.
I can remember being in a restaurant and they said smoking or non-smoking as soon as you walked in, smoking or non-smoking section.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
And you could still smell it. And then the airplane, the funniest thing
Airplane.
about
I was going to say the airplane. Can you imagine being in the airplane all those years ago? Everybody lighting up. Oh my
I
gosh.
remember. Yeah, I remember getting a ticket. Had to go on business and I was with my superior and he said, I smoke, so I got us in the smoking section. Now, and a whole airplane fills with smoke, so that's dumb anyway, but I was actually
Exactly.
in the back, like the back row with all these people smoking and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then that went away, which I think that should stay away.
Absolutely.
So the smoking rates, while overall the US smoking rates are at their lowest in decades, which is approximately 11% people smoke in 2025. The trend is in the younger people, which is causing concern with health officials. It'll be interesting to see, let's say next year, we'll check back and see if that
Yeah.
11% has gone up.
All right.
Some studies have noted increased cigarette sales in the US during the pandemic. When the pandemic was going on, cigarette sales went up. Despite the resurgence, tobacco use remains a major concern for public health and the various diseases that's called from smoking. So I want to remind everybody, even though it's cool, I'm going to have a link on here, how to quit smoking. The CDC has a little guideline. And then Kylie Jenner, I can't forget that, of the Kardashians. Kylie Jenner is currently on the cover of Vanity Fair smoking a cigarette. So
Oh, is
that's kind
she?
of the nail in the coffin there.
Hmm. All right.
And that really upsets me. She knows how influential she is,
Yeah, I agree.
but we're talking about it. So that's why the Kardashians do everything they do.
That's so true, Dana. It gets attention.
Yeah, over 480,000 people died from smoking related illnesses last year. So just keep that in mind.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
Ah,
Mm.
all right. Then our final story, and this is a bit of good news. You'll be glad. There are two foods that people think of as bad foods, and I have good news about both of them.
Okay, am I supposed to guess this?
Well, let me ask you, if you could eat something more than you already do, I think you do eat this, and it would help you to sleep,
Hmm.
would you do that?
Okay, I usually eat sushi or chicken. Either one of those.
No. Although I think chicken does make you sleepy. It does me anyway. Sorry.
It's
I'm
a
trying to
comfort
feed this
food.
Lincoln.
Comfort food.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the food is, that if you eat
Okay.
more of it, you'll get more sleep. So this doesn't usually come up in conversations about sleep. It's more likely to be tied to comfort food or late night snacks. But a new research is starting to look at this a little differently, especially when it comes to long-term health patterns. A recent study is suggesting there may be a connection between this and sleep apnea, a condition that affects breathing during sleep and can have wider effects on your overall health. Do you have sleep apnea by any chance?
I do.
You do. Oh, okay.
Mm, I do.
Okay, that's very nice. Do you wear a CPAP thing?
I don't. I should. I'm a terrible patient. I'm a nurse. So I'm a terrible patient. My husband
Uh,
keeps get after me for it, so I am going to look into it. However, I'd rather just eat these foods that
I
you're
was going to say, you
telling
may
me.
not have to after you hear this. Researchers compared dietary habits with health outcomes, looking specifically at whether this food intake had any relationship to the risk of sleep apnea. What they found was a pattern. People who regularly eat this appeared less likely to develop sleep apnea compared to those who don't. It is, are you ready?
I am.
Cheese.
Oh, I love
I
cheese.
love cheese. Who doesn't
All
love
kinds of
cheese?
cheese.
Can you believe
Yeah.
it? They were studying it to see if cheese was causing or aggravating sleep apnea. You know, because you think about the dairy and the thick
Yeah.
lactose gooping up and
Yeah.
causing mucus.
Right?
Well, they found that the cheese helps with the sleep
Any kind of
apnea.
cheese or a specific kind of cheese?
Let's look and see. The possible benefits come from the calcium and the protein and the vitamins tied to energy and immune function. Who knew that about cheese?
Yeah,
Okay,
go cheese. I'm
goat
telling
cheese.
you.
I've
Don't
always
eat
said
too
goat
much
cheese.
of it. Don't eat too much of it, though. You'll be constipated. You'll have another issue. Just the other end.
The study shows an association that means cheese isn't a treatment for sleep apnea and it won't replace medical care. These are things we have to say. And it's not a guaranteed way to improve sleep because sleep apnea is a complex condition and it's very serious. But for some reason, the people who ate lots of cheese, their sleep apnea improved. And I don't take our advice on this, talk to your doctor, but and as Diane mentioned, cheese can have some side effects.
Yeah, not only down there, but your waistline as well.
Yes, you shouldn't overhaul your diet based on this one study, but you can take simple things from it. You can pay attention to patterns, notice what shows up regularly in your meals, and aim for balance rather than extremes. Cheese can fit into that, especially in moderation. So kind of do your own test by adding the cheese, taking away the cheese. And if you ask me, I mean, cheeses are so different if you think about hard cheeses and soft
Mm-hmm.
cheeses. I
Right?
feel like hard cheeses are better for you, but I'm kind of just making that up in my brain.
Yeah, I like any kind of cheese. It's all good.
I do too. Little cheese, little wine.
So what's our other food, Dina? I'm
Okay.
dying to hear.
I think this one might you might be excited about too.
I was pretty excited about the cheese.
Well, this one's a little different in that it's considered by many to be, quote, bad for you, but there's something you can do to actually change the chemistry of it. And it is the humble potato.
Oh, I love potatoes anyway.
I do
I'm good.
too.
I got a potato in my pantry. I think I might go make it with some cheese
There you go.
and
All
some
right.
olive oil, and I'm set.
Yeah. Here's the thing about potatoes. They turn to sugar. They don't have a good nutritional value. They're bad for diabetics. It's better to eat a sweet potato. And I like sweet potato, but they're no potato.
Right.
I can't load up cheese and bacon and sour cream and all that onto a sweet potato.
No, no. But I sure can add some honey and some marshmallows and some
Yeah,
brown sugar on a sweet potato and make that a mean old sweet potato. I'm just here to tell you.
that's right, all day long.
So, do the sweet potatoes help too, or just a regular potato?
Well, here's what you do to Mr. Potato Head before you eat it. Okay, boil the potato and then chill it.
Hmm,
Boil it, cook it, and then put it. You'd have to prepare for this, but you could like boil your potatoes or bake your potatoes in the morning, and then put them in like cold water and put them in the fridge while you're at work, and then take them out for dinner. So what happens is the starches go through a process called retrogradation. They turn
mm-hmm.
into resistant starch, which means your body cannot fully digest that sugar.
Right?
So instead, it acts like a fiber, feeding your
Hmm,
gut bacteria and keeping your blood sugar stable. Reheating
wow.
them, yeah. So you may ask me, Diana, but what happens when you reheat it? Because I don't want to eat a cold potato.
Right?
It's okay. You can reheat it. Reheating them doesn't destroy the effect. You successfully hacked a high carb food into a gut health
Hmm.
supplement.
How interesting is that? What
Is
a
it
piece
not?
of information. I love this.
Yeah, it's like witchcraft or something.
I don't know about that, but it's just called cooking to me.
Well, it's some people, I'm looking at the comments here, and there are some naysayers, but someone said they have to be frozen, but to me, chilled is not frozen.
So it's the cold putting them in the cold water after you've cooked them that allows that, whatever word it is
Yeah,
appropriate there.
the retrogradation. Well, they're
Yeah.
saying you need to chill it. So you would have to, if you were going to eat it soon, I guess you could pop them in the freezer for a few
Uh
minutes.
huh.
But
Yeah.
if you, otherwise, I would just put them in cool water to cool them off and then take them
Okay.
and put them in the fridge because, you don't really want to put hot things in your fridge
Right.
and you
Right.
might be
Okay.
rushing out. And, you could buy frozen potatoes sliced. You can buy little chunks. So I would assume that would be the same
Yeah,
situation. Yeah.
that would work.
I think so. I'm kind of excited about that because I kind of stopped eating potatoes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try that. We'll get back with you listeners in a month and we'll let you know if we've gained any weight or if we don't have sleep apnea. Which, Dina, I don't know who's gonna tell you you have sleep apnea, but I can weigh in on that one.
How do you know if you have sleep apnea if you sleep by yourself? I wonder. You wake up going,
Yeah, probably.
or you don't have your partner to poke you in the back with their elbow.
They breathe.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope we gave you something valuable to think about. We hope we helped you through something mundane you had to do for 30 minutes because really just about everything you do takes 30 minutes, I think. If you
Sometimes even just going potty takes 30 minutes.
if you if you drive to work for longer than 30 minutes, you need to get a different job or you need to move. So thank you guys. And Diana, I always like to put the pressure on you to kind of sum up our episode and wrap it up and tell me what you've taken away from it or a little message you'd like to leave our listeners with. So did you learn anything today?
I learned a lot. I learned that we are going to the moon. We're going to wrap around it, and then we're preparing to go back in a couple of years, which is very exciting for US. I understand that smoking is an issue for a lot of people, and I do encourage people to either cut back or try your best to stop. And that is for the health of just your lungs. And then on the third thing, I'm going to get back with you guys about the cheese and the potatoes, but I think that sounds amazing. Dena and I appreciate you all so much. We couldn't be here without you and your support. So like us and share us, and we hope that you have learned something as well and that you enjoyed this episode. You never know what Miss Dena is going to throw at us. So you
Could be a
always have,
potato.
yeah, give me a potato. Yeah, exactly. Here, catch. But you never know what she's going to come up with, and it is always very different and interesting. And honestly, that's what keeps me coming back to the podcast as well. Just so you know. So we hope that you have an epic week, and we will see you on our next episode. Bye bye.